Good afternoon and welcome to the English Book Club with me, your teacher, Lynn, or you, whichever, and presented by the Learn English Network. And we will pop over to the stage and see who is joining us. Oh no, it's that music. It's the worst. No, no! I must find out how to stop this. Oh my god. Oh, oh my goodness. That music. I forgot again. Can I hear you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it is
Excellent. Is there any echo? Oh
yes,
no. Oh no. That's wrong. Let me just see if I can sort out the echo, guys. Is it when I speak or when you speak?
when I speak.
Okay. I can't see it echoing here. Okay, so could you say echo, 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 Paulette?
Echo, 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 echo.
I can't see it echoing. That's weird. It's echoing on yours. So let me just see if I can stop the. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can sort this out. This is driving me insane, you know. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Okay. Okay, try now.
Echo, echo, echo. No, it is gone. Okay.
Hey, excellenti. Okay, so that's good. Right, let me invite everybody in to read. So I can see some hands up already. Well done, guys. Alexa, Konstantin, Eleanor, Hermina. Okay, and then is it Celine, isn't it? And Nina.
Yes, hello.
Hi. I always have to remind myself of what your actual name is.
Yes, it's so nice to be back. Thank you.
It's nice to have you back. Let me just reduce your volume a little bit. So I'm just going to do a little run round of everybody's mics. Eleanor, can I hear you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, as you know.
And I can hear you.
I can hear.
Awesome. Good, good. Hermina, can I hear you? Can you hear
As
me?
I can hear you very well.
Excellent. Nina, can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, this is going too well. Constantine. Oh, you're a pussycat. Constantine, can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yes, hello, I hear you perfectly.
Excellent. Alexandra?
Oh,
No. I could hear you. Could you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. That's more like. Sorry. Good, good, good. And Paulette, last but not least, can I hear you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Excellent. And I can hear you. And thank you for the reminder that Hermina had popped in between Celine and Constantine. Okay, so bear with me 1 second whilst I get the book up. Okay, so I'm hoping everybody's downloaded the book. I'm hoping everybody's at the right page. And we should be on page 35. Okay, which in the actual book is page 30. Okay. And the reading list today, the order of service is Eleanor, followed by Alexandra, followed by Paulette. Honestly, you guys were like, doof, doof, doof. But I go by what order your messages appear in Discord, okay? Then Nina, Konstantin, Hermina, and Celine. Okay. Any questions before we start?
No, not from my side.
Everybody's happy then. Good, good, good. Don't forget to mute unless it's your turn to read. And we will start with Eleanor. Eleanor, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, in the parlance of Listen with Mama, are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin.
But I knew what I wanted now and stand and groped my way down again, with a wonderful anger in my heart. About halfway down, the wind sprang up in a clap and shook the tower and died again. The rain followed, and before I had reached the ground level, it fell in buckets. I put out my head into the storm and looked along towards the kitchen. The door, which I had shut behind me when I left, now stood open and shed a little glimmer of light. And I thought I could see a figure standing in the rain, quite still, like a man hearkening. And then there came a blinding flash, which showed me my uncle plainly, just where I had fancied him to stand, and hard upon the heels of it a great tow row of thunder. Now whether my uncle thought the crash to be the sound of my fall, or whether he heard in it God's voice denouncing murder, I will leave you to guess. Certain it is, at least, that he was seized on by a kind of panic fear, and that he ran into the house and left the door open behind him. I followed as softly as I could, and coming unheard into the kitchen, stood and watched him. He had found time to open the corner cupboard and bring out a great case bottle of aqua vitae, and now sat with his back towards me at the table. Ever and again he would be seized with a fit of deadly shuddering and groan aloud, and carrying the bottle to his lips, drink down the raw spirits by the mouthful. He stepped forward, came close behind him where he sat, and suddenly clapping my two hands down upon his shoulders, "Ah!" cried I. My uncle gave a kind of broken cry, like a sheep's bleat, flung up his arms, and tumbled to the floor like a dead man. I was somewhat shocked at this, but I had myself to look to first of all, and did not hesitate to let him lie as he had fallen. The keys were hanging in the cupboard, and it was my design to furnish myself with arms before my uncle should come again to his senses and the power of devising evil. In the cupboard were a few bottles, some apparently of medicine, a great many bills and other papers, which I should willingly enough have rummaged had I had the time, and a few necessaries that were nothing to my purpose. Thence I turned to the chests. The first was full of meal, the second of money bags and papers tied into sheaves, in the third with many other things, and these for the most part clothes. I found a rusty, ugly-looking Highland bag without the scabbard. This then I concealed inside my waistcoat and turned to my uncle. He lay as he had fallen, all huddled, with one knee up and one arm sprawling abroad. His face had a strange color of blue, and he seemed to have ceased breathing. Fear came on me that he was dead. Then I got water and dashed it in his face, and with that his mouth and fluttering his eyelids. At last he looked up and saw me, and there came into his eyes a terror that was not of this world.
Very good. Well done. Excellent. Good start. Ooh, It's all getting very exciting. Okay, so yeah, indeed. Eleanor, sorry, first of all, any questions before I give Eleanor her feedback?
It's Latin, aqua vitae, strong, but aqua is water generally.
Okay, yes, aquavita, and well said that second time, Eleanor. Aquavita. It's not what you said in the reading.
I have found it, and I thought it was
Okay.
English, so I tried my best.
Well, it's the water of life. I think normally it comes out as some kind of spirit,
Brandy,
some kind of
yeah.
whiskey, yeah, brandy, whiskey, that kind of thing. Okay, so the first word, Eleanor, is blinding.
Blinding.
Yeah, not binding. Got to get the blah, 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 blah.
Sorry.
Okay, and then aquavita, which we've just discussed.
Aqua vitae, yeah, but it's correct.
That's
Latin.
it. Water of life, yeah. And then money bags.
What did I say?
Plural.
Money bag.
Money bag.
Money bags. Yeah.
Money bags. Try it.
Money bags.
That's better. Then ceased, not seized. It's a soft S. Ceased.
Ceased.
That's better. And then I stepped forward, not he. You read he stepped forward, but he's sitting and I stepped forward and gave him the fright of his life. Quite right too. Very good. Okay, let's move on to Alexandra. Are you ready, Alexandra?
Yes, I am.
Okay, begin whenever you feel comfy.
Come, said I. Sit up. Are you alive? He sobbed. Oh man, you're alive. That I'm that am I, said I. Small thanks to you. He had begun to seek for his breath with deep sighs. With his sighs. The blue file, said he. In the armory, the blue file. Breeze came slower still. I ran to the cupboard and, sure enough, found the blue file of medicine with the dose written on it on a paper, and this I administered to him with what speed I might. It's a trouble, said he, reviving a little. I have a trouble, Davy. It's the heart. I set him on a chair and looked at him. It is true I felt some pity for a man that looked so sick. But I was full beside of righteous anger, and I numbered over before him the points on which I wanted explanation. Why he lied to me at every word, why he feared that I should leave him, why he disliked it to be hinted that he and my father were twins. Is that because it is true? I asked. Why he had given me money to which I was convinced I had no claim. And last of all, why he had tried to kill me. He had me all through. He had me all through in silence, and then, in broken voice, begged me to let him go to bed. I tell you the morn, he said. As sure as that I will. And so weak was he that I could do nothing but consent. I locked him into his room, however, and pocketed the key, and then returning to the kitchen, made up such a blaze as had not shone there for many a long year, and wrapping myself in my plaid, lay down upon the chest and fell asleep. Chapter 5. I go to the Queen's Ferry. Much rain fell in the night, and the next morning there blew a bitter wintry wind out of the northwest, driving scattered clouds. For all that, and before the sun began to peep, for the last of the stars had vanished, I made my way to the side of the burn, and had a plunge in a deep whirling pool. All aglow from my path, I sat down once more beside the fire, which I replenished, and began gravely to consider my position. There was now no doubt about my uncle's enmity. There was no doubt I carried my life in my hand, and he would leave no stone unturned that he might compass my destruction. But I was young and spirited, and like most lads that have been country bred, I had a great opinion of my shrewdness. I had come to his door no better than a beggar, little more than a child. He had met me with treachery and violence. It would be a fine consummation to take the upper hand and drive him like a herd of sheep.
Very good, well done.
Thank you.
Okay, nicely read, and you kept going. You didn't doubt me.
Yeah.
Are you still there? Are you listening?
I tried.
You did well. You did well. Okay, so any questions before I give Alexa her feedback? Okay, just a quick note. Anybody who's kind of new, we always pin the book. If you look at pinned messages, the link to the book is there, and also where we got up to the last reading session, as long as I remember to do that. Okay, so you'll always find it in the pinned messages. Okay, so first of all, Alexa, breath, not breathe. You were right the first time. Breath. Breathe has an E on the end.
Breath,
Okay,
breath.
That's it. Yeah, take a deep breath. And then dose, not like does. It's
Those sleep, a small sleep.
Doze.
A
Yeah,
dose,
but
yeah.
no. Doze. No, doze is to sleep. Dose is like medicine. A
Oh,
spoonful is one dose.
okay.
Yeah? A tablet is a dose of medicine. Okay? What dosage you might see as well. Dosage. Okay?
Those.
So, okay. Okay, then righteous. Righteous. Yeah.
Some,
Like right, and then righteous.
or is some Batman, something.
No, if you're righteous, you're meant to be a just person. Sometimes it's to sort of got a religious connotation that you're a good person because you follow the rules of whatever, you're just and righteous. But it can also mean to be righteous just means to be, follow the law and don't do bad things, that kind of thing. Okay, a righteous person.
Righteous person. From right.
Kind of, yeah. It's got a little bit of a right and wrong kind of thing. So righteous is right. There's no such thing as wrongtious, though. Sadly, there should be. Okay. Okay, then asleep. Asleep.
Asleep.
That's it. Good. And herd, not head.
Herd.
A herd of sheep, yeah. And then there was now no doubt about. Okay, so now and no. There was now no doubt about. Try
There
it.
was now no doubt about.
Very good. Well done. Okay, so
Thank you.
the next person, you're welcome. Next person on the list is Paulette. Paulette, you're quite late today. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Excellent. Okay, then, as soon as you feel comfy.
Thank you. I sat there nursing my knee and smiling at the fire, and I saw myself in fancy smell out his secrets, one after another, and grow to be that man's king and ruler, the warlock of Essidine. They say had made a mirror in which men could read the future. It must have been it must have been of other stuff than burning coal. For in all the shapes and pictures that I sat and gazed at, there was never a ship, never a seaman with a hairy cap, never a big bludgeon for my silly head, or the least sign of all those tribulations that were ripe to fall on me. Presently, all swollen with conceit, I went upstairs and gave my prisoner his liberty. He gave me good morning civilly, and I gave the same to him, smiling down upon him from the heights of my sufficiency. Soon we were set to breakfast, as it might have been the day before. Well, sir, said I, with a jeering tone, have you nothing more to say to me? And then, as he made no articulate reply, it will be time, I think, to understand each other, I continued. You took me for a country Johnny Row, with no more mother wit or courage than a porridge stick. I took you for a good man, for no worse than others at the least. It seems we were both wrong, but cause you have to fear me, to cheat me, and to attempt my life. He murmured something about a jest and that he liked a bit of fun, and then, seeing me smile, changed his tone and assured me he would make all clear as soon as we had breakfasted. I saw by his face that he had no lie ready for me, though he was hard at work preparing one, and I was a, it, and I was about to tell him so when we were interrupted by a knocking at the door. Bidding my uncle sit where he was, I went to open it, and found on the doorstep a half-grown boy in sea clothes. He had no sooner seen me than he began to dance some steps of the sea hornpipe, which I had never before heard or far less seen, snapping his fingers in the air and footing in the right cleverly. For all that, he was blue with the cold, and there was something in his face, a look between tears and laughter, that was highly pathetic and consisted ill with his gaiety of manner. What cheer, mate? Says he with a cracked voice. I asked him soberly to name his pleasure. Oh, pleasure, says he, and then began to sing. For me, for it's my delight of a shiny night in the season of the year. Well, said I, if you have no business at all, I will even be so unmannerly as to shut you out. Stay, brother, he cried. Have you no fun about you? Or do you want to get me thrashed? I've brought a letter from old Hissos, Hiscoc, to Mr. Bellflower. He showed me a letter as he spoke, and I say, mate, he added, immortal hungry. Well, said I, come into the house, and you shall have a bite if I go empty for it. With that, I brought him in and set him down to my own place, where he fell to greedily on the remains of breakfast, winking to me between whiles, and making many faces, which I think the poor soul considered manly. Meanwhile, my uncle had read the letter and sat thinking. Then, suddenly, he got to his feet with a great air of liveliness and pulled me apart into the farthest corner of the room. Read that, said he.
Okay, well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very nicely read. Well done. Okay, any questions before I give Paulette her feedback. And excellent singing, I have to say.
Yes.
Oh, it is my
That-
delight on a lively night on the
Yes.
season of the year.
That's the one I
Carol.
just wanted to say. Not only good, it was not only a good read, it was only a good singing, Paulette.
Yeah, that's what happens when you come to the karaoke
Yeah.
session.
Very entertaining. Bravo.
Extremely, yes. Well done. Okay, so let me put it in here and let's give you your feedback. A couple of phrases and a few words. So, the first word, shapes.
Shape.
Shapes.
Shape.
That's it. Good, good, good. And then articulate. Okay, it's the adjective. To articulate something, but an articulate reader, an articulate speaker. Okay,
Articulate.
that's it. Good. Then reply, not replay. Reply.
Reply. Yes.
That's it. And assured. It's a sh sound. Assured.
Assured.
Very good. And gaiety.
Gaiety.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, you wouldn't know it from the spelling, but it is gaiety. Okay, so the next one, it's this far less. Okay, so it's which I had never before heard of, far less seen. Okay, so far less means never mind that. I hadn't done that either. Okay, so try it. Which I had never before heard of, far less seen.
Which I had never before heard of or far less seen.
Yeah, heard of.
Heard of.
That's it. Try again. Which I had never before heard of, far less seen.
Which I have never been heard. Which I have never before heard of, far less seen.
Perfect. Yay. And then to fall to, where he fell to greedily on the remains of breakfast.
Where he fell to greedily on the remains of breakfast.
That's it. Very good. Well done. Okay. Yeah, curiosity kills the cat. That's it indeed. Okay, but he's feeling quite pleased with himself right now. Those of you who've read on, no spoilers. Come on, no spoilers. Okay, the next person on the reading list is Nina. Are you ready, Nina?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, as soon as you feel comfortable, if you'd like to begin.
Okay. Read that, said he, and put the letter in my hand. Here it is, lying before me as I write. The House Inn at the Queen's Ferry. Sir, I lie here with my hawser up and down, and send my cabin boy inform. If you have any further commands for overseas, today will be the last occasion, as the wind will serve us well out of the first. I will not seek to deny that I have had crosses with your doer, Mr. Henkler, of which, if not speedily read up, you may look to see some losses follow. I have drawn a bill upon you, as per margin, and am, sir, your most obeyed, humble servant, Elias Hosenson, agent. You see, Dave, resumed my uncle, as soon as he saw that I had done, I have a venture with this man Rose's son, the captain of a trading brig, the Covenant of Dysart. Now, if you and me was to walk over with young lad, I could see the captain at the halls, or maybe on board the Covenant if there was papers to be signed. And so far from a loss of time, We can jog on to the lawyer, Mr. Hakelor's. After that, come and gone, yeah, you could, you would be swear, swear, to believe me upon my naked word. But you'll believe Hakelor. His factor to have the gentry in these parts, and old man, 40, highly respected, and he kenned your father. I stood a while and thought. I was going to some place of shipping, which was doubtless populous, and where my uncle durst attempt no violence, and indeed even the society of the cabin boy so far protect me. Once there, I believe I could force on the visit to the lawyer, even if my uncle were now insincere in proposing it, and perhaps in the bottom of my heart, I wished a nearer view of the sea and ships. You are You are to remember, I had lived all my life in the inland hills, and just 2 days before had my first sight of the firth lying like a blue floor, and the sailed ships moving on the face of it, no bigger than toys. One thing with another, I made up my mind. Very well, says I. Let us go to the ferry. My uncle got into his hat and coat and buckled an old rusty cutlass on, and then we trod the fire out, locked the door, and set forth upon our walk.
Well done. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. Oops, just got that little bit at the end to get you to read again. Okay, any questions before I give Nina her very short feedback? It was very well read.
No.
Everybody happy?
No questions.
Okay. Okay. I did notice what Alexa wrote. I did wonder why you were so quick getting your name on the list, Alexa. Very clever. Yeah, the letter was in badly spelt, not well educated, but also a little bit of Scottish brogue or Gaelic in there as well. So, well, but you did very well, Nina. Well done. Okay, so the first one, doer, a doer. I'm a doer. Yeah, it means I do things.
Doer.
Yeah, literally.
People who does doers.
Yeah, people who do things are doers. Yeah,
The
I'm
author
a doer.
of doer.
That's it. Okay, then Elias. He might crop up again, so Elias. And this one, I have no idea, but it's definitely not Hank, it's Rankila or Rankila. I'd have to ask the person how they pronounce their name there, but it's Rank, not Hank, okay?
Rankila.
Yeah, Rankila, I don't know, but Rank. Okay, you get a smiley for heart. Well done.
Yeah, heart.
That's it. Good heart these days is hard to find. And then this phrase, trod the fire out.
Trod the fire out.
Yeah, it basically means he used his feet to put the fire out. So he was stamping on the ashes, stamping on the coals to put the fire out. I would only suggest you do that if you've got very thick-soled boots on. Okay, well done. So the next person, you're welcome. Next person to read is Konstantin. Konstantin, are you ready?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, if you'd like to begin as soon as you're comfortable.
Um, the wind being in the cold quarter, the northwest, blew nearly in our faces as we went. It was the month of June. The grass was all white and daisies, and the trees will blossom. But to judge by our blue nails and etching wrists, the time might have been winter and the whiteness a December frost. Uncle Ebenezer trudged in the ditch, jogging from side to side like an old ploughman coming home from work. He never said a word a whole way, and I was thrown for talk on the cabin boy. He told me his name was Ransom, and that he had followed the sea since he was 9, but could not say how old he was, as he had lost his reckoning. He showed me tattoo marks bearing his breast in the teeth of the wind, and in spite of my remonstrances, for I thought it was enough to kill him, he swore horribly whenever he remembered, but more like a silly schoolboy than a man, and boasted of many wild and bad things that he had done, stealthy thefts, false accusations, aye, and even murder, but all with such a dearth of likelihood in the details, and such a weak and crazy swagger in delivery as disposed me rather to pity than to believe him. I asked him of the brig, which he declared was the finest ship that sailed, and of Captain Hutchison, in whose praises he was equally loud. Hessiosi, for so he still named one skipper, was a man, by his account, that minded for nothing either in heaven or earth, one that, as people say, would crack on all steel into the day of judgment, rough, fierce, unscrupulous, and brutal. And all this my poor cabin boy had taught himself to admire as something seamanlike and manly. He would only admit one flaw in his idol. He ain't no seaman, he admitted. That's Mr. Swan that navigates the brig. He's the finest seaman in the trade, only for drink. And I tell you, I believe it. Why, look there, and turning down his stocking, he showed me a great raw red wound that made my blood run cold. He done that, Mr. Swan done it, he said with an air of pride. What, I cried, do you take such savage usage at his hands? Why, you are no slave to be so handled. No, said the poor moon calf, changing his tune at once, uh, and so he'll find. See, here, and he showed me a great case knife, which he told me was stolen. Oh, says he, let me see him try. I dare him to. I will do for him. Oh, he ain't the first. and he confirmed it with a poor, silly, ugly oath. I have never.
Very
Thank you.
good. Well done. Okay. So, yeah, dangerous people. Okay,
Yeah, I'm a
then.
little bit scary to read it.
Yeah. Indeed. Okay, so any questions before I give Konstantin his feedback? No? Okay, then. Konstantin, first word, ploughman. It's a silent G, a silent H, ploughman.
Plowman.
That's it. Somebody who works the plough, ploughman, who ploughs the fields. Okay. Then this is a little bit of a tongue twister. Stealthy thefts.
Stealthy thefts.
Yay! Well done. Okay. Then likelihood, not likehood, likelihood. Try it.
Likelihood.
Yeah, if something is likely, it might happen. What is the likelihood of it happening? Okay. Then sail, sailed. Try it.
Sailed. Sailed.
That's it. Not sealed. Seal is EAL, sail is AIL. Then again, sail, not seal. Sail.
Sail.
That's it. Then floor, a floor.
Flow.
Yeah, like the floor you walk on, but in this case it means something's not quite right. Like a flaw in a diamond. Most natural diamonds have at least one flaw in them. Okay, a little mistake. Yeah. Then seaman.
Yes, seaman.
That's it. And then wound.
Wound.
Yeah, wound as in something you've hurt yourself and it's bleeding. It's a wound. Yeah. To wind, the past tense is wound, and there's that famous "I wound the bandage round the wound." Okay.
Wound. Yes.
So,
thank you.
that's it. Good. And then this one is this phrase: the grass was all white with daisies. So there was grass, and there were so many daisies in the grass flowering that it looked white. Okay. So the grass was all white with daisies. Try it.
The grass was all white with daisies.
That's it. Good. Okay, then the next person to read is Hermina. Hermina, are you ready?
Yes. And I ask myself
Excellent.
if I can hear you me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, so what you'd ask there is, I ask, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Try it.
Can you hear me and can I hear you? Can you hear me?
That's it. Yes, exactly. That's what I say. Sorry if it's confused you. Can you hear me? Can I hear you? Not can I you hear me? No.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're comfy and ready.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving me the chance. I have never felt such pity for anyone in this wide world as I felt for that half-witted creature, and it began to come over me that the brick governante, for all her pious name, was little better than a hell upon the seas. Have you no friends? Said I. He said he had a father in some English seaport. I forgot which. He was a fine man too, he said, but he is dead. In heaven's name, cried I, can you find no reputable life on shore? Oh, no, says he, winking and looking very sly. They would put me to a trade. I knock a trick worth two of that I do. I ask him what trade could be so dreadful as the one he followed, where he ran the continual peril of his life, not alone from wind and sea, but by the horrid cruelty of those who were his masters. He said it was very true, and then began to praise the life, and tell what a pleasure it was to get on shore with money in his pocket, and spend it like a man, and buy apples and swagger, and surprise what he called stick in the mud boys, and then it's not all as bad as that, says he. There's worse off than me. There is the 20-pounders. Oh, laws, you should see them taking on. Why, I have seen a man as old as you. I they say. To him I seemed old. Ah, and he had a beard too. Well, as soon as we cleared out of the river and he had the drag out of his head, my, how he cried and carried on. I made a fine fool of him, I tell you. And then there is little there is little Ans, Juns, Ans, too. Oh, little by me. I tell you, I keep them in order. When we carry little us, Ans, I have a rope's end of my own to wallop them. And so he ran on until it came in on me what he meant by 20-pounders were those unhappy criminals who were sent overseas to slavery in North America, or the still more unhappy innocents who were kidnapped or trepanned, as the word went, for private interest or vengeance. Just then we came to the top of the hill and looked down at the ferry and the Hope. The Firth of Forth, as is very well known, narrows at this point to the width of a good-sized river, which makes a convenient ferry going north and turns the upper reach into a landlocked haven for all manner of ships. Right in the midst of the narrows lies an islet with some ruins. On the south shore they have built a pier for the service of the ferry, and at the end of the pier, on the other side of the road and backed against a pretty garden of holy trees and hawthorns, I could see the building which they called the Havens Inn. The town of Queensferry lies farther west, and the neighborhood of the inn looked pretty lonely at the time of day, for the boat I had just gone north with passengers. A skiff, however, lay beside the pier, with some seamen sleeping on the thwarts. This, as Ransom told me, was the brig's boat waiting for the captain, and about half a mile off, and all alone in the anchorage. He showed me the Covenant herself. There was a sea-going bustle on board. Yards were swinging into place, and as the wind blew from the quarter, I could hear the song of the sailors as they pulled upon the ropes. After all I had listened to upon the way, I looked at the ship with an extreme abhorrence, and from the bottom of my heart I pitied all poor souls that were condemned to sail in her.
Very good. Well done. Okay, very nicely read. It's still getting... Oh, somebody's got a buzzer. Okay, so any questions before I give Hamina her feedback? You all okay? Everybody happy? Okay, so the first, this is more of a phrase, but it's the brig Covenant, okay? Covenant. It's the name of the brig, the ship, okay? So try it. The brig Covenant.
The brig Covenant.
That's it. Good. Then the next one is pious.
Pious.
Yes, to be pious means to be sort of... somebody who says their prayers, reads the Bible, could be said to be pious, okay? Then reputable, not like table, reputable. Try it.
Reputable.
That's it, good. Then a drug, not drag, drug.
Okay. A truck.
That's it. Then haven is not like heaven, a haven, like a harbour is a haven for ships. A
I
protection,
thought so, but okay. A haven.
That's it. Good. Then holly trees, not holy. Holly. It's a type of the holly and the ivy. Yeah, with the prickly leaves and the red berries at Christmas. Holly.
Holly trees.
That's it. And anchorage.
Anchorage.
Not courage. Anchorage. It's an in the middle. Anchorage.
Anchorage.
That's better. You get 3 smileys. The first one's swagger.
Swagger.
Yep. Then pier.
Pier.
Yay. And then bustle.
Bustle.
That's it. And then this came up. There's little uns too.
This is
little
uns.
Do you know?
It's German,
Uns.
as you know.
No. It's actually short for little ones. Little ones. It's slang. Little ones. Do you know what a little one is? A little un?
A little child, but it doesn't.
Yeah, a child.
Okay.
Little uns. Little uns.
Okay.
Where are the little uns? Look after the little uns.
Okay,
We
never
have to look
heard.
after the
Never
little
heard
uns.
before.
Yay! There you go. So try it. There's little uns too.
There is little uns too.
Very good. Well done. Okay, so last but not least, Celine, are you still with us?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Celine?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, whenever you're ready. Oh, Hermina, could you mute your mic?
Yes, of
please?
course. I do it.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
A bit of rustling.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, as soon as you're ready, Celine, if you'd like to start.
Okay. Yes. We had all 3 pulled up on the brow of the hill, and now I marched across the road and addressed my uncle. I think it right to tell you, sir, says I. There is nothing that will bring me on board that covenant. He seemed to awaken from a dream. Eh? He said. What's that? I told him over again. Well, he said. We'll have to please you, I suppose. But what are we standing here for? It's perishing cold, and if I'm not mistaken, they're busking the covenant for sea. Chapter 6. What befell at the Queen's Ferry. As soon as we came to the inn, Ransom led us up the stair to a small room with a bed in it, and heated like an oven by a great fire of coal. At a table hard by the chimney, a tall, dark, sober-looking man sat writing. In spite of the heat of the room, he wore a thick sea jacket, buttoned to the neck, and a tall hairy cap drawn down over his ears. Yet I never saw any man, not even a judge upon the bench, look cooler or more studious, and self-possessed than this ship captain. He got to his feet at once, and coming forward, offered his large hand to Ebenezer. I am proud to see you, Mr. Balfour, said he in a fine, deep voice. I'm glad that you are here in time. The wind's fair, and the tide up upon the turn. We'll see the old coal bucket burning on the Isle of May before tonight. Captain Hoseason, returned my uncle. You keep your room anchor hot. It's a habit I have, Mr. Balfour, said the skipper. I'm a cold right man by my nature. I have a cold blood, sir. There is neither fur nor flannel, no, sir, nor hot rum will warm up what they call the temperature. Sir, it's the same with most men that have been carbonadoed, as they call it, in the tropic seas. Well, Captain, replied my uncle, we must all be the way we are made. But it chanced that this fancy of the captain's had a great share in my misfortunes. Although I had promised myself not to let my kinsman out of sight, I was both so impatient for a nearer look of the sea and so sickened by the closeness of the room that when he told me to run downstairs and play myself a while, I was fool enough to take him at his word. Away I went, therefore, leaving the two men sitting down to a bottle and a great mass of papers, and crossing the road in front of the inn, walked down upon the beach. With the wind in that quarter, only the little wavelets, not much bigger than I had seen upon a lake, beat upon the shore, but the weeds were new to me, some green, some brown and long, and some with little bladders that crackled between my fingers. Even so far up the firth, the smell of the sea water was exceedingly salt and stirring. The Covenant, besides, was beginning to shake out her sails, which hung upon the yards in clusters, and the spirit of all that I beheld put me in thoughts of far voyages and foreign places. I looked too at the seamen with the skiff, big brown fellows, some in shirts, some with jackets, some with coloured handkerchiefs about their throats, one with a brace of pistols stuck into his pockets, 2 or 3 with knotty bludgeons, and all with their case knives. I passed the time of day with one that looked less desperate than his fellows, and asked him of the sailing of the brig. He said they would get under way as soon as the ebb set, and expressed his gladness to be out of a port where there were no taverns and fiddlers, but all with such horrifying oaths that I made haste to get away from him.
Very good. Well done. Very nicely and clearly read. Excellent. Okay, and it's nice to hear your voice again, indeed.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions before I give Celine her feedback? Everybody okay? Okay, then the first one. Brow. Your brow. It's like your forehead, your brow. Try it.
Brow.
That's it. Like, because you've got the eyebrow.
Yes.
Eyebrows.
Yes, that's right.
Then you've got the brow, which is above the eyebrows. Okay, good. Then covenant, not covenant, covenant.
Covenant.
It is an actual word. Yeah, it is an actual word, covenant. It means a promise. Yeah, you write a covenant.
Oh, yeah.
It's a promise. Hey, okay. Then oven, not oven. I mean, it depends. There are people in Brighton. My friend says oven, but it's weird. Oven is the sort of standard pronunciation. Oven. Try it.
Okay, oven.
That's it. Good. Then studious. To study, yeah, but to be studious.
Studious.
That's it. Good. Then Ebenezer. Knees are good. E's are good. Ebenezer good.
Ebenezer.
That's it. Like Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh,
in
yes.
Christmas Carol. Yay!
That's right.
That's the same word.
Okay.
Then fingers, not fingers. Fingers. You've got to get that g in the middle. Fingers.
Fingers.
That's it. Then your throat. Throats. Your throat is where you swallow. Yeah. Your throats.
Throats.
That's it. Good. Then pistols. Don't forget the t. Pistols.
Pistols.
That's
yeah.
it.
Pistols.
Yeah. Pistols. And then you get 2 smileys. The first one for desperate.
Mm-hmm. Desperate. Desperate.
Not disparate, no, desperate.
Desperate.
Yeah, disparate is a word with an I.
Okay.
Yeah, so... Okay, so you got disparate and desperate. Then horrifying.
Horrifying.
That's it, to be horrified, to find something horrifying. Well done, everybody. Okay, so I think we finished on time. Oh, spot on time today. Excellent. Okay, so for next week, we are at, if everybody agrees with me, this threw me back on ransom. Yeah? Okay, and then it's page, in my book, 45. And in the actual print copy of the book, 40, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we're on chapter 6, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's where we got up to. Good. So you will find all that information in pinned. Okay, let me just put all the feedback together. Indeed, very good reading today, and not too many. There was a little hiccup with the echo, but not too many problems with sound either, which is awesome. So let me pin that, and then I will remove last week's. Okay, and the pin, if pinned messages are really important in the server, you will find that is what I mean by the pin. If you find the pin, you click on it. If anything's been pinned, it means it's important. Like Natasha uses it for her reading material. I use it for the feedback, and sometimes in Back to Basics as well. So, or if somebody says check the pinned messages, that's what they're telling you to click on, okay? Or touch if you're on a phone. All right, so we will leave it there for this week, and I will see you hopefully next time. You're welcome. We were precisely on time. We started on time, we finished on time. It's a modern day miracle. Very unusual for us. Take care. You're welcome, Nina. Thank you. And thank you for being brave, everybody.